Florabelle on my screen. Her smile, it shines so bright. She's a queen with every scene. In the morning or the night, recipes and good vibes flow. Every video a gem. Her confidence, it grows and grows. We're inspired like her friends. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power. Spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Through the highs and all the lows, she remains so strong. Her spirit always glows. She's where we all belong. With every like and every share, we feel her energy. No storm too strong, she can't bear. She's setting us all free. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power. Spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Recipes and good vibes flow. Every video a gem. Her confidence, it grows and grows. We're inspired like her friends. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power. Spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Through the highs and all the lows, she remains so strong. Her spirit always glows. She's where we all belong. With every like and every share, we feel her energy. No storm too strong, she can't bear. She's setting us all free. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power. Spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Through the highs and all the lows, she remains so strong. Her spirit always glows. She's where we all belong.
Battles got power, Florabella stands tall. Every drip, every drop, watch the haters fall. Channel sharp as thorns, ain't taking no mess. Scroll through her feet, feel that queen's finesse. Vines tangle tight, but Flora breaks free. Roots so deep, can't mess with her tree. From the mud she rises, roses from the dirt. Every comment section she lays down hurt. Flora's anthem, blooming under pressure. Resilient, resolving, no lesser. Florabella's reign strong and relentless. Beauty in battle, queen sure defenseless. From the garden green to the concrete wall, Florabella, unstoppable nature's child. Leaves whisper secrets, she's the loudest shout. From the channel buzzing, she never backs out. Seed of strength, through seasons she grows. In the face of doubt, her spirit glows. Cameras ain't a limit, she branches out. Thorns in her crown, she wears it no doubt. Flora's anthem, blooming under pressure. Resilient, resolving, no lesser. Florabella's reign strong and relentless. Beauty in battle, queen sure defenseless. Flora's anthem, blooming under pressure. Resilient, resolving, no lesser. Florabella's reign strong and relentless. Beauty in battle, queen sure defenseless.
All right, guys. All right. What is going on? What is going on? Hey, Empress. Hey, Empress. How you doing, boo? Hey, everybody that's in here. We got Black Beauty Gaming. We got Terlonius. We have Jesse in the building. Dallas 22. I'm sure you hear it because you think it's going to be messy. which I can't guarantee it's not going to be messy, right? Because I've been wanting to come on the late night because I've been wanting to come up with a show that fits kind of the new theme of my channel, but I haven't been coming up with anything. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to come on here tonight and freestyle. So shout out to everybody who's here with me. What's going on? BYT Go. What is going on? Yes, I'm just chilling tonight. And I really didn't know kind of, if I should go the crime angle for the late night or if I should actually go the kind of review, kind of messy roast type of night vibe. And kind of what prompted this was being in a dusty space, dealing with dusty makers, and just realizing how unhinged males really are, right? Listen, I'm not trying to make this a gender thing. But I was like, Jesus Christ, these males are unhinged. I mean, we're talking people I've never met. Imagine that, guys. I'm just a simple lady from Rhode Island. Okay? That's where I'm from. I don't know none of these motherfuckers. I don't know none of these people online. I've never met any of them. None of them. Yet there are people online who have strong opinions about me. They feel like they know what they're talking about. They feel like they're going to try and drag me into their little campaign, do their little shows and talk their little shits and pay their little money to people's channels. And it's just a weird thing. So I was like, I got to come back here and do a little bit of messy, mix it up, do like different topics and stuff like that. And I wanted the specific topic that I wanted to talk about today is Umar. Not because everybody's talking about him, but because Umar is trending right now, right? Umar is trending because he is a messy bandit, right? He's a messy bandit who doesn't have his, his ducks in a row. But one thing that Umar knew to do, okay, what he knew to do now that his title of you know, educator, first black revolutionary educator is going down the toilet. He joined the rest of the bandit sphere, right, in their derogatory topics and messaging. I mean, listen, guys, I am 30 years old. I did not grow up with such abrasive, overly emotional, disrespectful. I did not grow up in that time where it was normal for men to be so unhinged and so emotional, right? Obviously, those who've been on YouTube for a long time, especially in the black parts of YouTube, these unhinged males have always existed, right? They've always been a part of the online space, but it seems like they get louder and louder and louder and more pronounced every day. I mean, bandits I've never met in my life having full conversations in a chat, talking to their whole selves, making shit up about my life. Mind you, I'm way above them. Trying to talk down because of drama they heard online. I mean, these are some just very, very unhinged. But what I notice is that Umar is going to pivot in the direction of anti-black woman, anti-woman content. And that's what it seems like. So this was something that came up interesting to me. Obviously, when I was doing the stream on Umar, I did talk about some of this stuff because Umar pivoted from the failing school to looking sector. In the last couple of days, he did the dating show. So he's trying to get women to pay to date him, to want to be with him, like on some flavor of love shit, right? And we're also seeing the pivot where now he's very anti-woman, right? Now he's not pandering as hard to women as he was even when, a couple of years ago when people still believed that he was going to open a school. All right, so let's get into this video here, guys. I'm freestyling. So, don't hold me to nothing. I am trying to step outside of the crime box. My channel enjoy. So hopefully you guys will enjoy the stream tonight. All right, let's get into it.
Black women, I don't mean no harm because I love all my sisters. Black women, I don't mean no harm because I love all my sisters. But if you still ain't rocking your own natural hair by now, if you a black woman in 21st century America and you still ain't rocking your own hair by now? If you're a black woman in 21st century America and you still ain't rocking your own hair right now, listen, sisters. I don't want to hear the excuses, hard to take care of natural hair. I don't want to hear the excuses, easy. I don't want to hear that. All of that is denial of self-hatred. You are imitating your oppressor.
Umar Marcus Garvey needs to keep himself relevant. He knows it's over. Yeah, he definitely knows that his reign is over, right? But look how quickly and how easily he joined all the bandits in their anti-black woman rhetoric, right? They love to bring up hair. You know what's so crazy? They love to bring up hair, right? But we're not supposed to talk about the fact that they date out the most, right? So when you're laying down with that white body, right? Should black women start saying this is your self-hatred to black men? Would it make sense? Right? Because at the end of the day, Umar can say all this about hair, but the reality still stands that black men date out 9 times the rate of black women, right? So what we have on our head is not the biggest concern, right? It should be all the dating out, right? By his logic, right? Because I don't necessarily follow his logic. I'm not a divester, but I'm also not anti-dating out. So, but by his logic, right? The problem wouldn't be what we have on our head. The problem would be who black men are sleeping with, right? I don't know. Let's continue though.
Let's just be honest. Can we stop with the denial? You are imitating your oppressor. Blonde hair, blonde weave, blue hair, fake hair, Indian hair. You are imitating your oppressor. Let's get over it. Black men with the snow bunny hopping, let's get over it. You feel inferior to the Caucasian and you need his woman in order to feel equal. Let's stop playing games. You feel inferior to the white man, so you need the white woman to make you feel better about yourself. Can we stop playing these games?
And I got one question for both of you. I'm gonna start with caramel, then I'm gonna come to butter almond. A lot of black women say they can't go natural because it's too difficult to maintain the hair. Is that true, or is it an excuse?
That's an excuse.
So why did they say it's difficult? What's the toughest thing about being natural?
Well, I mean, when I started out, it is maintenance when I first started out. But I mean, this is who I am, so it can't be hard.
Is it any less maintenance than the fake hair?
Absolutely not. And I only have to get it done maybe once every 7 to 8 weeks.
Once every 7 to 8 weeks,
Yes.
much less money than the investment of the fake hair, right?
Yes,
So basically,
So-
sisters is cat.
Let me just say this. Sister locks are not cheap. They are not cheap. I was told by a consult person about 6 months ago when I was looking into it that the initial lock process can cost anywhere between $400 to $800. So it's not cheap, right? And then the retwists are another price. Umar, are you going to come pay for all the black women in the community to get sister locks? That's my question. Will you pay for it? I'm just sick of men getting online talking about hair. Why are you worried about what women have on their heads? Right? I don't get it. His rant is more of a distraction. The deadline of payment ends in 2 days. He is about to lose the building. I heard that somebody paid. I'm not sure how true that is, but I heard that somebody paid already. Hey, Rogue C, what's going on, boo? What is going on? I heard that somebody paid. If you don't have a certain type of hair, please stop speaking for everyone. Exactly. This is my other thing. What if we don't all want sister locks and dreads? Do we all have to be naughty boys? Locks cost money. They cost a lot of money. Listen, when I tell you that lady told me, she says for the initial lock, between $400 to $800. If you have dense hair, you better be ready to spend upwards of $400 to $800. So not even on the low end. I am sick of people telling black women what to do with their hair. Why don't you go dread your hair up? Why don't you go get some sister locks? Why are you always worried about what people have on their hair? But Umar has to pivot, right? Because the next place that you can make money would be the Nakersphere, right? These bandits will pay to attack, and talk shit about women all day. They will do it. They'll pay their hard-earned money. Imagine that. I only give my money to content creators who actually offer some type of content. The entire time I've been on YouTube, I've supported content creators, and it was never anybody that just sat there and said what I wanted them to say. No. But the difference is with these men online, because they're not outside having girlfriends or lives or families or anything, right? Now what they're doing is paying men online to tell them that women are terrible, that black women, all they do is wear weave and yell loud and got a bad attitude, and they're why the community is terrible, and they're why the thuns aren't getting jobs and why they're not going to college. It's all black women's fault, right? That is a whole new ecosystem. People pay their rent off of bandits that want to be pandered to. Right, so this is Umar's pivot. I'm telling you guys, it's lucrative. Look at Fresh and Fit. They were hosting meet and greets in person, and they're meeting up with a bunch of men who idolize them. Right, Umar knows how to peek out the next hustle. He's already looked out the next hustle. The next hustle is the bandits online who want to be pandered to, who want to be told that black women are the problem, their hair is the problem, their attitude is the problem, their low status in society is the problem, who they marry is the problem, having black children is the problem. That is what those men want to hear. And so Umar is pivoting. Notice he spent a very small chunk of time talking about men who love snow bunnies, right? And pivoted to this little point right here where he's talking to a woman with natural sister locks, which, yes, the average cost of getting those locks done, retwisted, about $500. Is not cheap. Whoever told these black men that going natural is cheaper are stupid. That's when the women were putting blue magic in their hair. Gone are the days of blue magic. Gone are the days. Now people have to maintain their hair. If you want to have natural hair, you got to have moisture products in it. You got to deep condition. None of these bandits are going to pay for that. Yeah, he's the problem. He's absolutely the problem. Listen, he is the problem, but he is on to his next hustle. The next hustle is these bandits online that want to be told what they want to hear, that will pay good money to hear men degrade black women, talk crap about the community, talk crap about black women because they hate their own moms. Right? That's how a lot of these bandits feel. They dislike their own parents. It's not my fault your mom sucks. Right? Umar clearly had a problem with his family. You know, Lennon's channel, I wish the video wasn't so long. Otherwise, I would put up what Lene last said about Umar in the channel, right? But all the trauma he endured. Right? Who's to say if that didn't all shape him into being a scammer? Not my job to tell anyone what to do. Yeah. It's not anyone's job, right? All of us are going to make our own decisions. But for some reason, these black men online want to hear the degrading of black women. They want men to tell them that they're right in their opinions of black women, of their hair, of their attitudes. And Umar is right there ready to catch the bag.
This happened.
Would you agree?
I agree 100%. I cut my hair off because my son, I'm a single mom, he wouldn't sit for his haircut. So I had to show him, hey baby, this isn't scary. I feel like what's really stopping a lot of women, especially in our community, from going natural and doing the big chop is the stigma behind it. You know, because as black women, we're deemed as masculine or strong and this, that, and the third. And we're not allowed to live in our femininity. And I feel like a big part of our hair, especially growing up, a big part of our...
Well, no, we're not allowed to live in our femininity because we have men in the community who just want to whine and complain and live in the feminine. They've taken up all the feminine energy. There's none left for us. There's none left. Umar with his big old fat self over there auctioning off a date with his ugly behind. He's taking up all the feminine energy too. Right? But the messed up part is that Umar preys on women like this. Women who see it through the lens of men. Right? Who understand and consume the world based off the way men experience it. Right? That's why she's over here like, oh, I did it because my son. Hey, Chakra. She says, hey, Flora. I didn't even know you were live right now. Well, I wasn't planning to go live, but I just wanted to hang out in the nighttime, have some silly convo. And I was reminded why you don't go to dusty channels, why you don't hang out around dust mites. Because at the end of the day, that's what dust mites do. They're going to start attacking the women. They're going to start trying to degrade the women. They're going to start trying to say all types of nonsense about the women. I just remembered that. That is what those spaces have. So I was like, you know what? I still want to have a little silly, but also a little bit serious discussion about some different stuff that's not crime related. So that's kind of what we're doing here tonight. So hopefully you enjoy the show. People are going to do what they do with their hair. Yeah, I change my hair all the time. Right now I got single braids. Before this I had my natural hair out for a couple weeks. Before that I had my hair straight. Before that I had twists, braids again. Right? None of it based off of self-hatred. All of it based off of the season. For me, it's about the season. If it's hot out, no. If it's hot, I'm not doing my hair every morning. No, because by noon it will be sweated out. By noon it will be sweated out. Chakra Love says, cool, love it. Yeah. Umar has been getting away with a lot of mess right now. So there's a few videos of his that I have here that I wanted to cover before that I didn't even get on. But I wanted to start with this one. The next one that we're actually going to go into is what Umar has said about black boys. Right? That's something that needs to be observed as well. So anyways, let's continue.
Childhood was embodied around our hair, and a big part of our femininity and our
Was
identity.
reduced to your hair.
Yep. I cut mine off
Powerful.
for my son, and I never looked back. We cut our
How
hair
many
off.
years has it been?
3.
Powerful.
I cut
And
his-
how many years for you, Caramel?
About 10.
About 10. Okay. Did she influence you or my cousins?
We cousins. I think we influence each other.
Okay, powerful. That's love. Appreciate y'all.
Because a little cousin always want to be like her big cousin, so I always want to do what she do.
Appreciate you.
No problem. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Wait a minute. I see a yellow watermelon. I've never seen this in my life. Talk to me, Elder. I've never seen a yellow watermelon in my life. So is that a different strain? Is that a hybrid? Is that Bill Gates watermelon? Talk to me. I've never seen that. That's real. That's organic. So why I've never seen a yellow one before? What? Are they rare?
They are not rare.
They're not. So why we don't see them in the hood? I ain't never seen no yellow watermelon. I've been all over the world.
Also, so that means that what they continue to do is reduce things and give it to us that's not natural for us, but this is natural watermelon. It's that red watermelon.
So is there something wrong with the red watermelon, the red ones?
The red watermelon and yellow watermelon is actually produced the same exact way.
So will that turn red or did the red turn yellow?
The yellow will turn red.
So this will become red.
No, the red will turn yellow. They cross breed.
The red will become yellow.
And this ninja has never even seen tropical fruit. From what I've heard, these are very sweet, very, very sweet. I don't know that they're similar in taste to watermelon, but I've heard they were very, very sweet, these yellow ones here. But he's so uncultured, he's never even seen a yellow one of these.
They cross breed. They cross breed.
I've never seen that in my life, Bob. I've never seen that in my life.
And that's the watermelon juice. Taste it.
Just the watermelon. Well, I'm going to come back. You know what? I need a little. Can I get a little piece of this, Queen? I don't want to dig my hand. Well, here go a fork. Take that lid off for me. I want to try the yellow watermelon. First time in my life. Thank you. Yellow watermelon for the first time in my life. And it tastes good. Black people, it's time to unite. It is unify or die. It is unify or die. It is organization or extermination. It's one way or the other.
Interesting, he's talking about, tropical foods at all. This, if he has been all over the world. He's never been all over the world. He's just started going all over the world with black people's money. He just started doing it, so he's never seen it in the past. But I think it's so interesting. He's talking about, black people, we have got to come together. while he joins the biggest crusade of black men, which has been to fight wigs and weaves. They've been fighting them wigs and weaves since the 1990s. Since the first lace front came out, I bet you they've been fighting. They've been throwing their swords at it. That's the only thing that they fight. You know, that we just found out that man was snatched up out that car the way he was. No charges are gonna come to the police. Punching him dead right in the face. Nobody's sitting out there marching or fighting for the rights of black men. Right now, the black women have gave up, which they should have gave up long ago. Nobody's out there marching for that. Umar is not leading the march for that. Umar wants you guys to go march because he didn't pay his taxes. He wants you guys to march because he didn't pay his taxes and get back to wig busting. Yeah, he thinks we're all a monolith, though. The funny thing is, he wants black people to be a monolith, right? That's why he says the ridiculous things that he says about wigs and weaves in the first place, right? But let's continue.
Voting ain't gonna change nothing at all. Y'all been voting for 200 years. Voting ain't gonna change. It is unify or die. It is organization or extermination. I don't care if you're a Muslim, a Christian, a Hebrew, a Nation of Islam, Nawapian, Pan-Africanist, socialist, integrationist, multiculturalist. Whatever you in, we have to unify across skin tone. All African. I didn't say across race. I said skin tone. Africans only. This is all black everything. If you have a problem with all black everything, hop off the live right now. If you have a problem with African family first, hop off the live right now.
Well, Umar, what about your African family? Right? We all saw your child crashing out on the internet. I'm not happy to see things go the way they did for Anissa, but to hear him talk about black family as if he didn't abandon his is quite interesting. None of us wanted Anissa to be on the internet crashing out, right? But when you leave your children fatherless, this is what you do. You harm their mental health, you harm their psyche. It's so interesting that this man is always talking about African family, African first, while he has not seen his daughter in probably years at this point. Probably hasn't had a decent conversation with her in decades, her entire life. It's very interesting. You know, Umar doesn't seem to. What happened to his child, Ayo? What? Actually, a lot of it was on the internet, but his child came out, called him out, and then she started having a mental breakdown on the internet. I thought it was questionable. I'm not even gonna lie. When she started talking to the likes of Tommy Sotomayor and these nakers on the internet, I was like, oh no, this is no good. This is no good. And I guess there might have been some financial incentive to do that, but I just knew it wasn't gonna go good at that point. You know, talking to bandits online is probably the worst pastime that you can do. Right? You probably be better off doing anything but talking to bandits online. Right? You catch yourself talking to a bandit, start doing something productive right away, just to shake the energy of a bandit off of you, because that's how it is when you interact with them. You know, but I thought it was questionable when she started going on those panels and stuff like that. But yeah, she ended up having kind of a whole meltdown online. So
If you have a problem with African people first, hop off the live right now. You got you a snow bunny, hop off the live right now. Snow puppy, hop off the live right now. Hop off the live right now. First of all, we got to get all the brothers and sisters who only want to struggle with brothers and sisters. We got to unify. Independent Africans, independent-minded Africans must unify. Some of us are so in love with white folks, we can't do nothing for ourselves. Some of us are so in love with the oppressor, we can't do anything for ourselves. So if you are a multiculturalist, integrationist, accommodationist, colorblind religionist, hop off the live right now. Save me some time. I said if you are an integrationist, accommodationist, multiculturalist, or colorblind religionist, hop off the live right now. You're useless right now. You are absolutely useless. If you a Negro who believe we all got to be in the same religion before we
And I think it's interesting, I think it's so interesting that he spends most of the live and the conversation talking about black women, but then he'll rope in the snow bunnies and men who date out and things like that to try and act like it's a general call out. But nah, Umar spends way more time talking about weaves and way more time talking about divestors, people who date out. But specifically, when black women do it, it's a loud conversation. It's never this loud when they're talking about men. It's not self-hating for black men to lay down with the society that degrades them on a daily basis, but it's self-hating for black women to do their hair how they please while he's rocking those Medusa worms on his head. It's crazy. Umar is like a pastor. He knows what to say when you want to hear it. He knows that people are tired of color blindness. He knows that people are tired of every black person expecting everyone to be Christian and religious and whatever the hell. He knows. That's why he sprinkles in a little bit of truth in his conversations. That's what he does. He always got to sprinkle in some truth. Oh, I'm gonna put in a little bit of truth over here. Okay, we got to stop worshiping religion. Well, I prefer people worshiping religion than you, right? You as an individual is taking their money and literally putting it into hell, putting it into a crack pipe, right? Yeah, he got the Medusa worms on his head, Joshua. Look at that hair. It's unkept. If a black woman wore her hair like this, men would be roasting her, saying she got pubes on her head, saying, you know how many black men have actually told me I look like an old grandma with my natural hair? Black men. And I've dated white men who helped me take out my braids and then rub my scalp. I don't worship any race of men, but I think it's interesting how black men act towards hair, but then we're the ones that are self-hating. Yerper Derp said, it's so messed up in the States, man. I pray for y'all. Realistically, this race issue's been underlying in the side of the world so extreme. Yeah, there's always gonna be race issues in America because people are obsessed with race. They are. Chakra says, Umar definitely has narcissistic tendencies, not saying he is one. Yeah, he definitely does. I don't think any of us are qualified to diagnose anybody with narcissistic personality disorder or syndrome or anything like that. But he definitely has grandiose narcissistic traits, in my opinion. Because you can see by the way he talks. When he says something, he'll look over at himself and look back at the camera. Like, that's him saying, like, you heard what I just said, nigga? Talking to him, his own self. He's very grandiose. Do you think that true color blindness and multicultural can exist within a society, especially outside of the States? No. I don't think there's any such thing as color blindness anymore because the door has already been opened to racial problems and issues. Once that racial door and Pandora's box was open, you can't just close it anymore. You can't just close it anymore. Now people see everything through the lens of race. There are some people who believe they can only go so far in life because of their skin color, or believe they can go further in life just because of their skin color. I think we're beyond color blindness. We're way beyond that at this point. We do need to find a more civil way to deal with our differences, though. Let's continue.
can work together, get your ass off the live right now. Get off the live right now. If you think everybody got to be a Muslim, a Hebrew, a Christian, get your ass off the live right now. Religion ain't got nothing to do with it. Get your ass off the live. This is about African family first, brothers. This is about African family first, brothers. This is about African. We don't hate nobody, but we love ourselves. And we will not be given any explanations for why we are all black everything. That's over with. That's over with. If you're not going to be unapologetic, get out the way. And black women, I don't mean no harm because I love all my sisters. Black women, I don't mean no harm because I love all my sisters. Black women, I don't mean no harm because I love all my sisters. But if you still ain't rocking your own natural hair by now, if you're a black woman in 21st century America and you still ain't rocking your own hair by now, if you're a black woman in 21st century America and you still ain't rocking your own hair right now, listen, sisters. I don't want to hear the excuses hard to take care of natural hair. I don't want to hear the excuses easy. I don't want to hear that. All of that is denial of self-hatred. You are imitating your oppressor. Let's just be honest. Can we?
So here's my issue. When black women buy Korean hair, they are not imitating raggedy, greasy, dirty white people hair. You know, Umar is not even well versed in hair quality. Nobody would buy white women's hair. Why would we do that? It's insane. It's asinine to even think we would spend our money on that lice infested nest of hair that exists on the top of some white women's hair. You know, so I think it's so weird. He keeps tying everything back to whiteness. Is he FBA? I don't know. His projection is crazy. He needs to worry about keeping that school. Listen, Joshua, just like a lot of scammers that we know, they always want to keep you on the hook for something new. He is trying to distract you with this. He's saying, okay, we don't got a school, but we need to focus on weaves. Weaves are the problem. Wigs are the problem. And he's definitely running from the IRS. Yeah. The IRS got his bank accounts frozen up. He's running as fast as he can. Let's continue.
Stop with the denial. You are imitating your oppressor. Blonde hair, blonde weave, blue hair, fake hair, Indian hair. You are imitating your oppressor. Let's get over it. Black men with the snow bunny hopping, let's get over it. You feel inferior to the Caucasian and you need his woman in order to feel equal. Let's stop playing games. You feel inferior to the white man, so you need the white woman to make you feel better about yourself. Can we stop playing these games?
And you know, listen, Umar, just because you say it once in a while doesn't mean that we believe that you actually admonish black men for dating out. We've heard you've had some snow bunny scandals on your own. All right. Now, let's go to this video here where he actually talks about many different things as it relates to black boys, the community. I call it a Umar crash out compilation. So let us watch this. Obviously, guys, this is coming from Lennon Honor because he's the main one who likes to and enjoys and does very well drag Umar Johnson. So let's hear a little bit from this video here. He does have several parts of this compromising things that he said about black boys and the community in general. So let's get into it. Let me just see. Your perturb says something. Oh, you said something about Malcolm X. I don't want to get too off track here. You know, we'll do some historical streams coming up. Maybe I'm thinking maybe I'll start doing different little pockets of things, but mainly I focus on crime, so I don't want to go too far off into the Malcolm X stuff. But thank you for your question. All right, let's get into it.
I know like him getting locked up for child support and things like that. And
locked up? What do you mean locked up?
Like he not locked up, but like he did some time. Like they held him for it.
Because
They held him for like child support. Yeah, so they yep. So they caught him, but he wound up. I guess he had to pay whatever he paid. He paid it, so he got out.
Yeah. So to be clear, it's not like he went to prison. It's just that because he was back on child support, they got him because he had bench warrants, and he basically had to be in the jail for a while. I get it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And then he pays it, and they let him out.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Okay.
If you have a problem with my black pride and my black consciousness and my black divinity, if there is anything about Umar Ifa Tunde, a.k.a. Jermaine Shoemake, a.k.a. the Prince of Pan-Africanism, if there's anything about me that is unsettling to you, keep your children in that white public school. Keep your children Catholic school. Keep your children in that fake black hotep school. Keep them where you want to keep them. But if they come in the FDMG, they gonna get a Marcus Garvey spanking.
I'm getting sick and tired of getting texts on my cell phone for black folk talking about I've donated like they done. You gave me 25 damn.
Oh gosh, I was across the room. I ran over a good spanking from me. Hold on, let me bring that back a little bit. You see, Umar threatened these children. You guys will let him take care of your kids after all this stuff that he's saying? I don't know.
Of Pan-Africanism. If there's anything about me that is unsettling to you, keep your children in that white public school. Keep your children in that white Catholic school. Keep your children in that fake black hotep school. Keep them where you want to keep them. But if they come in the FDMG, they gonna get a Marcus Garvey spanking.
I'm getting sick and tired of getting texts on my cell phone for black folk talking about I've donated, like they done. You gave me $25 damn and you think you free now. We gotta raise $2 million. Your ain't done. I better get some more and some more and some more and.
See, so the goal, at one point, guys, the goal was only $2 million. Right? Now that he's made that $2 million, what has he done? Umar thinks he's better than black people in general. He definitely does. It's his delusion, though. Let's continue.
Some more until we hit the goal, brothers and sisters. That's the way we're going to have to do this. Trifling black people. I'm going to call it like I say it. And I don't care if you get offended. We can handle that outside.
Umar Johnson's promotion of physical violence against police officers, against black boy thugs, and against his donors is indicative of his tendency to make physical threats against those he disagrees with or those who criticize his violent rhetoric and his scamming of the black community. Here are some examples.
I'm going to deal with Papa Smurf. I'm going to deal with that little dirty I heard you, albino. I'm going to handle your tonight. You ain't getting away with that. You should have never came for me. I never with your little dirty broke anyway. Look in my face when you talking to me. This ain't no WWF. Who the you, the conscious Hulk Hogan? You the conscious Hulk Hogan? Papa Smurf? Motherfucker, you look like Tattoo from Fantasy Island with your stupid. Speak your speech. Speak your speech. Speak your speech. You see that date? August 21st. That's when I was born. 821. Bring it. Bring it, motherfucker. Little dirty midget. I'm right here.
Yo, this is how some of these banners will really crash out too. Bruh. He said, I'm right here, look at me, nigga. He's definitely a little goon. He's an Ogun goon. Like what?
Come bring it. I'm right here. Come bring it. I'm right here. Come bring it. You said I got a little belly, right? But guess what? I'm comfortable in my mother skin. I love who the I am. Ain't no problems over here with the Prince of Pan-Africanism. I'm straight. Why the you looking at my chest for, you pro? What you looking at my chest for? What you looking at my stomach for? You think I waste any time looking at your nut ass? I got a gut. That's all right. I can handle mines though, homie. You can believe that. That's right. Yo, lifting weights because it makes you feel equal. Because you insecure. So you got to be all big and muscle bound.
No.
So you feel equal.
No, Umar, people lift weights to be healthy. Like, I've never heard somebody speak against the gym. Ain't nothing wrong with lifting weights. What's wrong with your fat self? He is anti-gym. Like, what the heck? He said you lifting weights because you insecure. Real men don't lift weights. What do they lift then? Bricks? Like, what is this man talking? He is insane. Red Wine says you don't want to mess with Umar. Oh, Umar, sorry. Umar might like you because you cool people, but we not sure because he's crazy. Yeah, Umar is a hot mess. And imagine sending your children to this unhinged bandit.
Equal. Well, guess what? You can lift all the weights in the world and you'll never be 6'3". You can talk about my gut all day, but I'm sexy with mine. I'm fine. I'm cool in my skin. Don't you ever speak my name in vain. I'm talking to you, SETI. Friday night, what you gonna do? I'm calling you out. A debate on black leadership. Ain't gonna be no sucker. It's gonna be children and mothers in there, and we gonna keep the gangster. You got some personal with me, we can handle that shit out back.
We can handle that outside.
I know the conscious community got y'all lazy. Or they running around this intellectually masturbating old information. Like Papa Smurf. That Papa Smurf ain't gonna get us nowhere. That Papa Smurf gonna get us nowhere. You feel me? Hold on. Yeah. Nah, I got this. I got this. Hold on. Yeah. Nah, I got this. I got this. I answered the call. The other day,
No, Umar just be looking crazy. What was that? I answered the call, nigga. What? Hold on. And 2 times somebody tried to call while he was faking on that phone.
that Papa Smurf gonna get us nowhere. You feel me? Hold on. Yeah. Nah, I got this. I got this. Hold on. Yeah. Nah, I got this. I got this. I answered the call. The other day, Sabir Bey, I'm telling you to your face. It's personal now, bro. You came to the Culture Connection when I was in Chicago. You came to the Culture Connection when I was in Chicago. Told people I didn't speak to you, little midget. First of all, you ain't but 3 feet tall. How the hell I'ma see you? You's a hater. But when weak dudes like Tariq Nasheed and Boyce Watkins speak my name in a negative vein, I got the air cats out. That's all this is about. You know you deserve this shit, Macadocious. Calling that man crispy. There's some. If you want to say something about the brother, say something about the brother. You don't pick fun at his skin
Okay,
tone.
but if he's crispy, then I don't even think it was a racial joke as much as it was just roasting his ugly, crunchy ass. You know, and the funny thing is, Tommy Sotomayor talks about black women in the most egregious and disgusting way. So again, why would Umar be defending jokes made against Crispy? Right? Crispy is Crispy. We know him as Crispy. There's nothing racial about it. He's just a crispy bandit. You know, so anyways, let's continue.
Every time you look in the mirror, you see a crack. So you got to go extra hard because you're trying to prove to yourself that you're a black man. I ain't got that problem. You poking fun at all black women who are richly melanated, and you poking fun at all black men who are richly melanated. I'm melanated, bitch. When I look in the mirror, I see a black man. When you look in the mirror, you see a cracker. You don't pick fun at his skin tone. I'ma deal with that little dirty. I heard you, albino.
Give Pharaoh a lot. He dropped.
Oh, I ain't speaking on him.
Oh, okay.
I ain't speaking on him. Okay. Little dirty getting the words. Okay. Stuff I know about Boyce Watkins, I'm not gonna put that out there right now. Because I'm hoping y'all keep my name out your mouth and we go our separate ways, bro. But that boxing match, oh, we can do that. In fact, where's Sinetta at? Since y'all call Sinetta the Don King, tell Sinetta to call that up and see if he can get his ass in the ring for 10 rounds. But if you want to talk that gangster you want to go to the streets with it, okay. When and where? When and where? I want to see this. When and where? So I can knuckle your up. You want your beat? When and where? Now that Tariq Nasheed. By the way, Flex, I heard you said you pulling up. I want to know when you pulling up. I called your ass out for 10 rounds. You didn't respond, brother. Get your fat in the ring for 10 rounds since you so gangster. You could bring
Umar calling somebody fat is rich. That is rich. Now, Sonnet is big too, but I didn't even know they really beef like that. Listen, I don't be on YouTube crazy like that. But they're both big, so I mean it's just fat on fat crime at this point. Let's continue.
Watkins. Moist Joyce Watkins as your partner. We want to do a handicap debate match. Remember back in the days, fellas, when we used to watch wrestling growing up back in 4th and 5th grade? This ain't no WWF. Who the is you, the conscious Hulk Hogan?
And here he comes.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 275 pounds,
And let me just say, Lennon Honor is my type of petty. Okay, when he created this WWE content, okay, this was rich. Mwah, chef's kiss, rich. Okay, so funny. And I could certainly picture Umar trying to get into a ring and falling flat on his ass. Black Beauty says, he reminds me of someone, he talks bad about anyone that can't achieve something that he can't. Oof, PTSD. The nation of domination. Oh, Lord. Is that what he calls himself? Don't tell me that's what he calls himself, Shelton. Joshua says, are you saying he's a big back? Yeah, Josh, he has a really, really, really big back. So I think it's funny that he's talking about Son Netter getting his fat ass in the ring. You both are fat. You're both chunky. None is more slim or in better shape than the other. So again, fat on fat crime. Let's continue.
He calls himself the standard bearer of this division and plans on proving it in a matter of moments. Driven down with an elevated flatline. Into the corner. This can't be good.
Well, I guess this is supposed to be the fight between him and Son Netter, because he said, "What do you think? You're the Black Hulk Hogan?" So this is him fighting Son Netter. That's the name of the wrestling group. They have him on the WWE game. Oh Lord, it's terrible, 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 terrible. Let's continue.
Close.
All the way up. Another big move. My goodness.
Fireman's carry.
This one. 2.
Here is your winner, Dr. Umar.
And that was the only time he's ever won in life. No, I'm kidding. Shelton says, I don't mind seeing Hulk Hogan getting smacked up. Yeah, it's pretty funny. But, this is just hilarious that Lennon even put that together. I think it was AI or something like that. But, all right. Okay, so I have another video about some of the stuff that he has said. So let me pull that one up here. He specifically spoke on one of the few content creators, I would say, that's spoken about Umar honestly. Because one thing I'll say is that a lot of people have been afraid to say the truth about Umar, right? I've seen him going on podcasts still, getting appearances, and I'm sure they're paying him. But it's like, why is somebody who's not contributing anything in reality to Black children or their education profiting financially off of this as if it's a hustle? So let's go into this video here. He actually has a big problem with Lennon Honor. He's always threatening him online and calling him names. So we know that means Lennon is getting to the good stuff. Okay, Lennon is airing him out. Every piece of drama business that's online that he can find, he's finding it. All right, so stay tuned for this one here. It's only about 17 minutes, so then I'm probably going to pivot away from the Umar stuff onto another late night topic, which is relationships. All right, so stick around for that one if that's what you guys want to talk about.
Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. This is your big brother, Dr. Umar Ifatunde Oguntade. I said, this is your big brother, King Kong Consciousness. I said, this is your big brother, Intercontinental Ifatunde. Welcome to Black August, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Black August, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Black August, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Leo season. I'm wearing my Haitian flag today. Where my Haitian Africans at? I'm wearing my Haitian flag today. Where my Haitian Africans at? I'm wearing my Haitian flag today. Where my Haitian Africans at, brothers and sisters? Listen. Listen. All I want to say to you right now is thank you to those who have been riding with the Prince of Pan-Africanism. Thank you to those who have been standing strong with Ifatunde Oguntade. Thank you to my day one ride or dies. Thank you to the haters, the instigators, the defamers. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's a form of witchcraft. It's a form of witchcraft. If you hate it, it's because you're rejecting the sorcery, right? But it is a form of sorcery. Okay, I feel like when there's this repetitive nature, and is he flipping us the bird? Come on, Umar. You're supposed to be an educator. But anyways, I do feel like it's his way of trying to enchant people into believing what he has to say. Maybe getting so distracted in his words that you forget that you just sent him $200 and he still never built a school. Right? That's what he's trying to do. So it is wildly annoying, but he does it so frequently. I think people are just used to it. Yeah. Yep. And Chakra, I believe that's exactly it. He enjoys hearing himself talk. Let's continue.
To the haters, instigators, and defamers, that's all I'm going to say. To the haters, instigators, and defamers, that's all we going to say. That's all we ain't got no more words. We ain't got no more words, brothers and sisters. I'm at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. The accounts are still frozen. We looking into it. The accounts are still frozen, brothers and sisters. We're supposed to hear back Friday. We're supposed to hear back Friday. That sounds like Monday to me. The bank is giving us the runaround. We ain't got our check back. So we're about to operate attorneys. Attorneys is about to get involved because we were told that when your account gets canceled, you're supposed to get your refund check for the amount that was in the account. We have not
Oh,
received.
so see, this sounds like his account was liquidated. So they said, "Oh, we don't like your activities. We're getting rid of you. We will send you your money in the form of a check." Right? Which I've never heard of that being a thing, but this was 2 weeks ago. He's saying this is what they told them. People have to listen specifically to what Umar is saying. He's not just saying his accounts are frozen. He's saying they completely closed his account and decided to mail him his money. That's how much they were done with him. They didn't want to see him. They didn't want him in their bank. None of that. They didn't want to be part of the donation scandal, essentially. Right? That's why they would get rid of him and his money. Maybe his check is coming in the mail 2 to 4 weeks. You know, I heard somebody's gonna pay Empress. I hope not, but I think they're gonna keep the grift going. Unfortunately, he repeats himself to brainwash people. Repetition talk like that will seep into your subconscious mind, definitely. And you gotta think, guys. He's a PsyD, meaning he got a clinical psychology degree. He does know how to manipulate people. I'm not saying that's what they learn, but I think he does know how to manipulate people because of his psychological knowledge. I think everything that he gets is used as a tool to manipulate people. That's just how I feel about Umar, right? In general.
That yet. So there's some funny business going on right now, brothers and sisters. There's some funny business going on right now, brothers and sisters. But we're going to take care of all that. Stay patient. Stay positive. Stay patient. Stay positive. They messing with our bills. They messing with our automatic payments. They messing up a lot of stuff with this frozen account. They froze me and they froze the school. They froze me and they froze the school. But that's all right. That's all right. We're going to stay patient. We're going to stay positive. And we're going to see what they say on Friday, no later than Monday. But we need our check back so we can open up a new account and keep the ball rolling. We need our check back so we can open up a new account and keep the ball rolling. There's a lot of people saying a lot of things. I'm only going to say this to the Ifa Tunde faithful. There's a lot of people saying a lot of things, but I'm going to say this to the Ifa Tunde faithful. Don't get put in the book of Negroes. Don't get put in the book of Negroes. Don't get put in the book of Negroes. Brothers and sisters, as we get ready for August the 21st, Haitian Revolution Day, Nat Turner Revolution Day, George Jackson Revolution Day, birth of Black Jesus and birth of Ifa Tunde. As we get closer to August the 21st, the grand finale of Leo season, Haitian Revolution Day, Nat Turner Revolution Day, George Jackson Revolution Day, birth of Black Jesus and birth of King Kong Consciousness Day, we still working on the renovations, brothers and sisters. We're going to rekey them classroom doors. We're going to lay this tile down. And we're going to apply for the certificate of occupancy. Do anybody got a problem with what I just said? I'm only talking to my supporters and donors. If you're not a supporter or a donor, hop off the live. If you're not a supporter or donor, hop off the live. See, everybody talking is YouTubian struggle streamers who don't donate. I ain't heard a slander yet from somebody who actually donates. All I see is jealous people, envious people, opportunists, instigators, YouTubian struggle streamers. Nobody hating is a donor. Nobody hating is a donor. Don't you find that funny? Nobody slandering us is a donor, brothers and sisters.
Well, yeah.
We know who messed up.
The ones who see you for who you are aren't going to give you $1, mother trucker. Okay? I'm not giving you a penny. I'm not giving you a penny, Scam Newton. Scammy Davis Jr. I'm not giving him $1. That's the thing. He's trying to. So he's already scamming people, and those who call him on his bull, he's saying, "Well, you don't matter because you ain't giving me money anyways." That is some scammer talk if I ever heard it. All right, scamming is prime, like just ridiculous. It's the 23rd. What happened? It's the 24th. What happened? Honestly, I don't know if somebody's gonna pay it, but I heard someone was gonna help him. I don't think they should. I think they should let the dream die. Like, if he can't manage it, that's it. Stop collecting money. Stop living off of money for a school that you're never going to build. You know, at this point, the kids that originally wanted to go to the school are probably having grandchildren in the next decade. You know, so it's crazy. Let's continue.
Our accounts up. And we looking into all that right now. Trust me, there will be retribution. Oh, there will be retribution, brothers and sisters. I can't say it all right now. But there's going to be retribution. We just got to prove a couple things. And if we can prove a couple things, some people are going to be in a whole lot of trouble, brothers and sisters. Oh, yes. Ifa Tunde Nation. Ifa Tunde Nation. Ifa Tunde Nation, stay calm. But this is what I want to say. Hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. Hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. How you doing, my beautiful black sister? I'm Dr. Umar Ifa Tunde, the Prince of Pan-Africanism. You can come give me a hug. I need a hug. Come give me a hug, sister. I need a hug. Come give King Kong Consciousness a hug. I need a hug, my beautiful African queen.
And I'm like, I know that man from somewhere.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. How are you, my sister?
Oh, man. Thank you.
Appreciate the love. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the love.
Oh, Lord. Listen.
Appreciate the love. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Stay strong out here.
I sure will.
And if all goes well,
Man, it was.
that's our Marcus Garvey School. This is the school you hear me talking about all the time. This is it. You see the mural right there. John Jacques Dessalines, Nat Turner, Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey.
I'm originally from New Jersey. I grew
What
up
part?
in Philly. I grew up down there in 8th and Diamond.
I'm from 8th and Susquehanna. Got my first haircut at Shabazz at 8th and Diamond. Jermaine
My first
Shoemaker in
filling
the
job
flood.
was right there at the damn
Yes.
the park right there.
That's where I was born and raised.
So I grew up down there.
North
We've
Philly.
been down here. I moved to
This is him flexing. He's like, listen, I'm always going to get black women's money right here. They love me. I'm a celebrity. I just can't. I can't. Where there's many of us who recognize Umar, there's still thousands of us who still don't. Who will still support him, send him money as if he's going to build something. You know? It's unfortunate. Samuel Jackson. Let's continue.
Delaware about 12 years ago.
Okay.
And that's probably around the time that I started seeing you all
Yes,
crazy.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And I transport kids.
Okay.
And I'm talking
That's your
about,
business?
No, I wish it was.
Okay. I was only asking because once we get the school open, we're going to need some people with some vans to bring some of the children in the morning. You feel me? That's a little hustle. Where you can take my number. Get your phone. Take my number. We supporting black businesses. We supporting black businesses.
Yes, sir.
And make sure you let me know you do transportation. So when we get to that point, I can hit you up and see what your capabilities are. Because we're going to bring students from Baltimore, from Eastern Shore, Maryland, from Philadelphia, from Chester, from Dover, from Wilmington, from Trenton, and from Camden. 8 spots. So we're going to need a couple. You know what I mean? Don't forget to send me that text. Okay, got you, mama. All right now.
It was a pleasure.
Likewise, sister, likewise.
He was trying to break character, but he's like, I can't. They're still here. Umar trying to get butt. Yeah, that's all he be trying to do when he gives out his number. He's not trying to really do nothing. Yeah, he found another victim. That's why he was rubbing his hands like Birdman. he found another victim. He's gonna send her a Cash App request tonight. That night, he sent her a Cash App request. He'll be like, don't you care about the black boys? Or are you a coon?
What I think I'm going to do before the summer's out, brothers and sisters? Do you know what I think I'm going to do before the summer's out, brothers and sisters? You know what I think I'm going to do before the summer's out, brothers and sisters? I think I'm going to have a cookout inside of the Anna Douglas Amy Garvey Park, brothers and sisters. What do y'all think? Should we have a cookout inside the Anna Douglas Amy Garvey Park? I think I'm going to have a cookout. We're not going to do the fest because we're saving all the money for the schools, and with the bank accounts frozen, we don't know what the hell going on. But I think I'm going to do a cookout. For all my supporters, y'all could come on out, play some music, some food. What do y'all think about that, brothers and sisters? FDMG cookout with some chairs, some music, some food. I think we're going to make it pop. I think I'm going to do a cookout, FDMG cookout. Now, let me say this to the defamers, the instigators, and the haters. All you Tubi struggle streamers out there. First of all, I get 67 million hits on my Instagram a month, more than everybody else in the conscious community put together. Let me say it again. I get 67 million hits a month on my Instagram, more than everybody else in the conscious community put together. So my struggle streamers, keep on struggling to bring me down. Oh, yes. Struggle streamers, keep on struggling to bring me down. Oh, yes. With your 5,000 views, your 800 views, your 50,000 views. Struggle streamers, keep on trying to take down King Kong. I want you to keep on trying to take down King Kong with my 67 million Instagram views a month. Newark, New Jersey, I will see you this Saturday.
Wow, he is very grandiose, for him to be bragging about his analytics. I get 67 million views on Instagram. Yet you're still begging online for us to help you buy some floor tile and some paint for your school. It's interesting. Exactly. 67 million views. Is that 67 million views gonna pay your $40,000 bill that you have in one school and the 30,000 you have in another school? That's what I really want to know. He's bragging on money he don't have. Views don't equal money. Right, but he's begging. He's begging, begging, begging for money. But he wants us to believe he's this big, bad bandit. Bank accounts in deep freeze under Antarctica. Right, they're not coming out of that freeze.
August the 9th. Where my New Jersey Africans at? Where my New Jersey Africans at? Newark, New Jersey. I will see you Saturday, August 9th. Source of Knowledge Bookstore, 867 Broad Street. I speak at 2. The whole street festival is from 10 to 5. I speak at 2 o'clock this Saturday, Newark, New Jersey. Source of Knowledge, my first public address since South Africa, my first public address of Leo season, my first public address of Black August, and then Nat Turner Land, August the 21st. Nat Turner Land, August the 21st. Go to natturnerlibrary.com. Go to natturnerlibrary.com. Go to natturnerlibrary.com. And then we got a Deep South Black August grand finale. New Orleans, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, Mobile, Alabama. New Orleans, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, Mobile, Alabama. New Orleans, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and Mobile, Alabama. New Orleans.
All right, at this point, it's just promotion because there are some dumb people who are still going to support this idiot. All right, so let me get out of that for a second. I am going to pivot now, guys, because I wanted to originally do a stream, um, that was kind of a bunch of different topics. So I'm going to pivot to the next sector that I think people like to talk about at nighttime, especially, is relationships. All right, relationships. Now, I am no expert, okay? Unfortunately, some of you may know that I am no expert on love, right? But there's definitely something going on right now in general in dating, in the relationship market, etc. All right, so let us hear from some folks. And mind you, these people do not represent me or my beliefs whatsoever, right? The people that we're going to be talking about today are simply conversations and people that I believe are going to provoke some thought here tonight and make the conversation a little bit interesting. So let's hear from this bandit. He's a MGTOW bandit. He talks about modern women, yada yada, all the specific buzzwords that bandits use on the internet are in his bio. So I'm sure it will be rich and just full of gems. All right, let's continue.
Hey man, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, bro. I don't really think any modern woman could be trusted today. I don't think a single one can really be trusted today. Like, they've gotten so pushy with the "I'm woman, hear me roar" rhetoric in like the school systems and stuff, that like even at the beginning stages of school, they're driving this into these women's heads. By the time they get to the dating age, these girls today, they have like a disdain for men. They're like proud of being deceitful towards good men for the most part. Like, the hookup culture is pushed so rampantly. I don't know how you can find somebody that would ever make a remotely wise, curious man feel at ease without settling for somebody who's got a probably relatively, at the very least, busy past that you're going to overlook. Like, I don't think a lot of men realize just how normal the worst of the worst behavior that you see is becoming. Like, I'm at an in-between stage in my life, like late 30s, almost 40 years old. I got a lot of younger friends, and I got a lot of older friends. And without question, everybody that I know, from the younger side to the older side, they're all having the same problems, man. With smartphones and technology and stuff now, it's getting harder and harder for people to...
Now, sorry guys, I had stepped away for a second, so I wanted to react to some of what I heard in the beginning. So I'm just gonna rewind it. My bad, guys. But I'm not gonna disagree with him in terms of technology. I do think the issue is the internet as well. I think the fact that people feel like relationships and new prospects are very accessible, that they don't value in-person connections or relationships anymore. They just feel like anything's disposable. So I'll agree with the technology having a negative effect on it. But I specifically wanted to react to what he said in the beginning, so I'm just going to bring it back really quickly, all right?
Hey, man, I'm going to be honest with you guys, bro. I don't really think any modern woman could be trusted today. I don't think a single one can really be trusted today. Like, they've gotten so pushy with the "I'm woman, hear me roar" rhetoric in like the school systems and stuff, that like even at the beginning stages of school, they're driving this into these women's heads. By the time they get to the dating age...
Wow. So empowering women is the problem. That's what he's saying, right? I'm a woman and hear me roar. Even though we hear men roaring and hissing and whining all day long, women teaching women to be empowered is an issue?
These girls today, they have like a disdain for men. They're like proud of being deceitful towards good men for the most part. Like, the hookup culture is pushed so rampantly. I don't know how you can find somebody that would ever make a remotely wise, curious man feel at ease without settling for somebody who's got a probably relatively, at the very least, busy past that you're going to overlook. Like, I don't think a lot of men realize just how normal the worst of the worst behavior that you see is becoming.
I think it's interesting, and this is the delusion of men, right? They never ever take into account what it is that they have pushed in culture, in society, in relationships that has led to what we see today. Now, I think it's funny that he talks about hookup culture being pushed as if men have not been out here pressuring women for sex within days of meeting each other since the beginning of time. I mean, it's literally since the beginning of time has been an issue where men will want a woman to hook up right away. And then if she does, she's a skank. Or if she doesn't, she's a prude. Or if she makes you wait long, you get it and then you leave. I mean, this is literally a thing that women have been talking about for so much time. So when I hear these gender war bandits start talking about hookup culture being something that women push, is insane. Shelton says gender wars. That gender war is a psyop and is hell annoying. I don't even believe there's a real gender war. I believe it's just now seeping into people's head that there's supposedly a gender war because people spend the majority of their time on the internet. Most people can't even think. They express themselves through feeds online. Their personality is their TikTok threads or whatever the fuck you call that, because I don't have a TikTok. That's where people put their entire personalities online. That's why capitalism is able to prey on people, right? Because our entire personalities are online now. We don't even meet people in real life and have real life conversations. it's hard for healthy people to find other healthy people, or maybe not. I think in general, like I think even people who people think are healthy and having the best relationships are struggling in relationships right now, and that says more about the lack of communication between the genders more than anything. Right? It's the fact that the internet is actually having a negative impact on people. Right? Men are not able to talk to people anymore. Women see men all as the same. They have these, these hoorah circles where they just talk about how evil men are. I'm not gonna lie and act like some of those things aren't real, right? But I also think a lot of what's being ignored is the fact that women are having very, very horrible experiences with men. And instead of men saying, hey, look, this dude who's in our friend circle is a douchebag who pushes and pushes and pushes for women to sleep with him right away. Let's talk to him. That's not cool. Or men checking their vindictive friends who want to humiliate and stalk a woman when things end. Right? A lot of the what we're seeing in the dating world is a direct reaction to some of the experiences that women have been having. I'm not saying all women have been having bad experiences, but there's a lot of women having negative experiences. And when you have that happening, then you're going to hear more of these sister circles and spaces happening where women are going to be talking about men and how bad they are and things like that. Mookie says, I'm talking to women. That's my forte. But I just feel like there's less men who feel like that today, Mookie. That's where I'm going to say. I feel like there's less men who actually are comfortable talking to women, understand women, have friendships with women, like real healthy friendships, not like, other weird in between situationships. Like, I'm talking about real friendships, like they are able to just have a good conversation with a young woman and that's their friend. I don't even think that's as much of a thing anymore. Mookie says it can't be the men that they're choosing. Some folks are down with just hooking up. I find it crazy and don't condone it, but to each his own. I definitely think everything is going to depend on where you are and who you are as well. Um, Black Beauty says, "Yeah, I'm actually starting to hear a lot of this online gender stuff playing out in real life." That's what I'm saying, Black Beauty. I don't feel like it was a real thing until it started seeping into people's minds. Until the dudes who said, "Oh, that red pill, that MGTOW stuff, that's just online," started actually listening to those conversations and festering in that anti-women rhetoric that they do. That didn't used to be a thing. Before it used to be, oh, how are we gonna get around some women? Oh, let's go hang out here, let's go hang out there, let's be around people. That used to be the thing. Now it's people just have their online personalities and they want people who have similar online personalities. And that's all it is now. So I do think that some of these mindsets have started to seep into real life because of the talking points and some of these dudes pushing these mindsets further into, the internet. A lot more guys are actually listening to these manosphere talking points than we actually believed before. Chakra said, don't tell nobody. The women aren't any better. These women keep repeating the same mistakes over and over and not learning the lessons. Yeah, I definitely agree with that too. Right? I definitely agree that there is a choosing of bandits and just continuously choosing and dealing with bandits and acting like that's not what you're doing. I definitely agree, and I see that a lot too. Right? There's some women that I had to stop being friends with because of how they move about men. I'm not gonna be friends with anybody who is gonna be in a situation with a dude and put me in it. Don't put me in it. That's not me saying I'm not going to be there for my friend. But if we are just now becoming friends and you're putting me in your drama with your man, that is a red flag for me, bro. Red flag. Right? Some women, some environments are not going to be a good space for you to be in. As a woman, I'm saying that. Right? But I do think, for the most part, when it comes to things like that, it's better when the genders deal with themselves. Like, okay, when men are acting outlandish, men check them. When women are acting outlandish, women check each other. We talk to each other. But it's more of like now people just refer to internet profiles to decide how, how well of a mate someone is. Mookie says, I can see your point, Flora. These red pill dudes have messed up the game. Yeah, they definitely have. Right? They've turned it into like this is how all women are. This is how majority. Like, I've heard so many more men today make statements saying, "Oh, that's all women." Da da da. Such and such about women, and it's so disturbing because it didn't used to be that way. It used to be, "Oh, no, that's some niggas online." Now they all have the similar thought processes. It's really weird. They think money can stop you from being a lame slash piece of ish individual. Yeah, they definitely think so, and they actually consider themselves to be high value man or high quality based off of income. And I'm just like, bro, if you have a nasty, raggedy attitude, no woman's gonna want you. I promise you. It doesn't matter how much money you have. That woman who will get with you, trust you're a lick. That's about it. Yeah, same here. I'm too busy loving myself. Black B says, I'm gonna have to send you a clip of an Uber driver kicking a woman out of the car because she didn't want to go out with him. He had all the minister talking points and girl, I just listen. My friend just had a weird experience on a dating app not too long ago where she matched with this dude. Mind you, she told me she matched with him because his profile was stupid and she just wanted to talk shit, which is hilarious. But his bio was literally like, "Oh, I love myself first," or "I only have two rules. Rule number one, I love myself first. Rule number two, B, you better know rule number one." It's like, what type of sassy ass niggas be online? Like, y'all need to delete your profiles and just go download Grinder. Cause it be these bussy infected dudes who have the most attitude and want to act like they're in the dating market, but they don't really like women. Other thing I'm gonna say, I don't like the fact that some Uber drivers feel like because you're in their car, you have to talk to them. I have had Uber drivers like that who they will be trying to push up on me, not physically, but like have a whole conversation with me, and I'm just like, bro, I have headphones in. Like, this is a long ride. I'm not talking to you for 40 minutes. I will be polite. Say yes, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you. Bop bop. On my way out, I'll say thank you. But I'm not having a whole conversation with you. Like, this is a 40-minute ride. You think I'm entertaining you? You know how many times I've had to just literally put my headphone in? I'm not talking to you. So yeah, I definitely see that, and I think that's a problem women have too. It's like a lot of men have entitlement issues, and they think that like women are like getting a gift when they talk to them or deal with them. It's like, no, a lot of the times women are taking on a burden when they deal with y'all, right? A lot of men think that their girlfriends are supposed to be like their moms and take care of them, wash their ass for them, and feed them like they're a baby. Let's continue though. Let's hear some more from this little bandit.
Like, I'm at an in-between stage in my life, like late 30s, almost 40 years old. I got a lot of younger friends, and I got a lot of older friends. And without question, everybody that I know, from the younger side to the older side, they're all having the same problems, man. With smartphones and technology and stuff now, it's getting harder and harder for people to... I mean, in some ways, it's getting easier to be sneaky and hide, your lies. But in other ways, it is getting harder and harder to do because you can be exposed. Like, when I sit back and I think about it and I just pay attention to women today, like literally every woman I see, they almost have like disdain at the very least, if not hatred, for most men. Like they are so comfortable like trying to hurt like most good men. They feel really proud of that, a lot of them. Most of these women don't even know a good man when they see one. They're so programmed by like trashy culture and stuff that these women respect just the lowest of the low scumbags almost exclusively. Like the indoctrination in the schools and the music and the culture and smartphones and stuff, like I think that what is the norm now for like the way our society operates, like I've said in another video, I don't think we're really capable of producing like what used to be good women. Like I don't even think it's I'm not gonna say it's not possible, but it's really not probable. Like you look at the vulgarity and stuff in music and television and social media and stuff, and it's weird, man. It's really weird. Like I don't know that if you're somebody that really values loyalty and monogamy and real honesty and relative purity, I don't think you can really trust anyone. The only men that I know that don't agree with this are men that are dating like older women that have super high body counts and the guy just doesn't care. And she's like addicted to pornography and lusting after these dudes in these porn movies and the guy just doesn't care. If you're that guy, then we're not even on the same page. I'm not talking about you. That's a different thing for a different video. If you're somebody that wants like a good loyal...
There's like a lot of projection going on. I mean, some of what he says is so outlandish. It's no wonder women don't want to talk to these men. It's no wonder.
Woman, like I don't know that I would be confident telling you you're gonna find it. And that's sad, bro. It's really sad. And that sucks because I hate even saying that because I don't want to believe that. But the more I look around, dude, it's like, man, like the normalization of just trashiness and
dude, I think your problem has nothing to do with women, and maybe it has to do with all those bottles of perfume or cologne, whatever the fuck that is up there. Right? Maybe she's used to being the one that has all the fuzzy sweaters and perfume. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there was an imbalance. Maybe you guys both together came too much feminine energy in one room. Chakra said, yeah, he is not well. He's not well, and he's projecting. Sir, just because you've had poor life experiences or experiences with women in relationships doesn't mean that everyone has had your bad experiences. Right? This seems like a very, very personal problem. And I don't like that he's using the internet as a medium for his relationship issues. It's cringy. I think you should stop. I'm sick of men coming online and because they had bad experiences, projecting onto all women and telling the younger men, the newer generations of men, about women that they will never date or be around. Yeah, he has a hoodie over a hat in the house. Yeah, everything about him is poser and weird. He needs to process some of those emotions. Yeah, with a therapist, not with the internet. We don't care. You know, it is. It's insecurity in a nutshell. Most of these red pill dudes are the same. Yeah, they all have the same fear of being alone, the same insecurities, the same lack of wanting to compete in the dating or relationship world. Right? If there's a man out there that's going to treat her better, don't be mad at the man. Be mad at yourself. Right? Why won't you go the extra mile to secure a wife if that's what you say you really want? Or are you looking for women to grade you on a curve and date down? That's what I think really men want. Men want women to settle for men who aren't going to do anything that they want for them. Who are just going to be the same plain old selves that they are. They're not going to compromise. They're not going to do better. They just want women to accept them as is. And that's not the case. Both people have to grow in a relationship. For a relationship to sustain, you both have to grow. And for you to stay together, you have to grow in the same direction. If one of you is going up and one of you is going down, not a successful relationship. One of you is going to the left and one's going to the right, you're not going to work out. You know, so I think it's very weird. Just everything that he's saying. You know, he's definitely projecting. He needs to touch grass. I agree, Joshua. He has not touched grass in a very long time. That's what it's giving.
and just classlessness and degrading men and just it's weird, man. It's become so normal now that women are championing each other for doing that and behaving that way. Like even let's talk about smartphones and social media for that matter. Like most women today, I think, are very, very comfortable with like the micro cheating on social media. I'm willing to bet, and you might disagree, I'm willing to bet, I can never say all, but I'm willing to bet almost every decent looking woman out there is entertaining some guys, a guy or two on social media, or at least the door is open to it. Like social media in it.
No, what is entertaining a guy? Cause this is what be getting me. Like they want women to be waiting in a dungeon for their husband to come find them. Like yes, women are going to be dating. Women are gonna date around until they meet somebody they like. What are you saying? You want women to go to church to look for their husbands? Like he's sounding weird. He's sounding weird. He wants a woman who's waiting in a dungeon for a man to come and rescue her. That's not life. The reality today is that women have careers, they have lives, they have many things going on outside of finding and waiting for a man and building themselves up to be a wife. That's not what women are just doing 24/7. Yeah, they always want a 10 when they're a -2. Yeah, and they will actually look down on a 6 or a 5 who's well within their budget and range. They will look for women who are clearly above them and then be like, well, why don't you want to date me? Well, I'm a man. Take me as a man, as I am. I'm good enough, right? Just a random old dust bucket. You are a law enforcement officer. No, I'm not, Turtle. No, I'm not. No. I am not. No. Too cuckoo, too crazy. I'll kill you. No. I'm not a law enforcement officer. I'm not. I am adjacent to law enforcement, but no. So, yeah, you tried it though, Turtle. Let's continue.
Itself and smartphones themselves, these have become the real problem in most relationships. Like these are a real problem. This is what's really kind of screwed things up. Because now you just have this at your fingertips, just the endless options, man. Like back in the old days, if you or your girl were in a grocery store and you see a good looking woman or she sees a handsome guy or whatever, like, yeah, you're going to notice them, but you're going to be like, oh, wow, anyways, where's the potatoes? But nowadays you have these smartphones and, your girl can say, wow, this guy's hot, or I'm choosing to follow this guy. I want to see more of this guy. I want to make it a point to follow this guy's life and see him.
God.
Like,
what poor young lady left her phone unlocked around this one? Now, I don't get it. This is so situational that it's like, why even project this much onto the everyday woman? So now, because of who we follow on social media, that means women are cheating, so they can't be trusted?
that is like a micro cheating. I can never get down with the people that argue that and say, oh, you're being insecure. That's none of your business. She can look at whatever she wants. Get out of here, bro. This is not the channel for you. Get out of here. I'm not interested in this weird open relationship everywhere world we live in. Like, if that's your thing, that's your thing. But stop trying to gaslight everybody that's relatively old fashioned and values loyalty and commitment. Don't gaslight them and call them names because they don't want to share their girl with a bunch of other people. If you're into that, do your thing. This isn't the channel for you, and this surely isn't the video for you.
He has a very, very archaic understanding relationships, right? Because you don't own your partner, right? At the end of the day, you don't own your partner could be friends with anybody, and you have no say over that. Obviously, they shouldn't be friends with, someone who's hurt you or things like that. But sorry guys, I got he's just so toxic. The more I listen, he sounds really their individual identities and lives outside of men. How many times do we have to say this? Women want to accomplish things. They want to go to school. They want to make their own money. They want to open a business. I hate this that a woman's identity has to be her relationship. She can't follow anything. She can't follow an actor on IG because if she's micro cheating. Like what? He made up a term, an infidelis term. Just ridiculous. And he does sound very bitter. Poor Tink Tink. He must have got cheated on a few times, but Lord have mercy. It's too much. Micro cheating? Micro cheating. So we're posters that we had as teenage girls on our walls of celebrities. Was that us in a relationship? That was us fantasizing over other men. Like it's just ridiculousness. Just very petty, very toxic. This probably wouldn't be a good person to date. I would, hopefully, any women who know of his YouTube channel, or if you're dating him, hopefully you've seen his YouTube channel, Lord. But if he's saying this, it likely is how he feels, or he's grifting. Who knows? But my point is, men will come online and say things like this, knowing that there's young, impressionable young men online on the internet right now, every day, listening to other men. And this is what they're saying.
I think most women feel really empowered with social media, obviously, right? Like, that's no secret that women love this endless attention. Even the most average of women are getting quite a bit of praise on social media. And why would they give that up? Why would they want to give that up? It's like any other drug or addiction. Why in the world would they give that up? They have to be so head over heels in love with you with burning desire, and just like, they would have to be so head over heels for you to even consider that. And it's weird because, like a lot of people have said, and I agree with this, it's not a good time to date for men because the odds of you keeping someone happy now are just more and more slim. I don't care how good you are. It's hard to compete with an endless list of people on these. Some people say the only reason your girl hasn't cheated, I'm paraphrasing here, I heard someone say this, the only reason your girl hasn't cheated yet is because she hasn't found the guy she deems worthy. Some people believe that women in general just aren't capable of being loyal. I don't know if I believe that. That's a little too far for me, but I'm open to understanding that or learning about that. I just think that with the culture in which we live today, we are breeding extremely toxic modern women. And like I said, they're very, very proud of a lot of the behavior that most men think is repulsive. Like, I see girls in videos, and I've met girls in my personal life that brag about fucking around with some other dude behind their boyfriend's back. Like, they think it's the biggest thrill ever. And these are girls that I didn't expect to be that way off first glance. It's like, man, how normal is that? Like, how normal really is that? Where people are at the very least flirting on here and talking inappropriate on here, or entertaining that stuff on there and just thinking, well, that's not cheating. That's my internet history. That's none of their business. I think that's pretty normal, bro. And it's sad, man. It's really frustrating, dude. It's really frustrating. But I'm telling you guys, man, I know relationships are important to a lot of people, and we're put here to connect, and we're put here to have families and stuff. I believe that's what God above wants from us. But it's like, bro, I just don't know. I really think you're rolling the dice even dating anymore today. Like, even, this is why so many men are just like, pump and dump, hookups only, because it's like, unfortunately, as offensive as this might be to some people, most women today are good for nothing else but a quick hookup. They are good for nothing else but a quick hookup. You would be foolish to give any more of yourself to them than that.
Wow. And talk about a hateful bandit. I mean, to me, this is a very egregious level of emotional manipulation to young, impressionable young men. I believe he's bitter because he's never got the women he wanted, and he wants other men to feel like good women are unattainable or they're asking for too much. That's what I really think. I think men who can't get the women that they want other men to believe that good women are asking for too much, and they're convincing other men of that, right? And a smart man knows the value of a good woman, right? So a lot of these really dumb men are manipulating impressionable young men to be dumb just like them. Yeah, he does have to quit crying and get out there. I do think he's just whiny. I'm like listening to him talk. Every minute that he speaks is draining, so I'm sure he's drained every partner he's been with. But this is what men are choosing to tell the younger generations, and then they're like, oh, I wonder why nobody's getting married, or relationships are really bad these days. I mean, you guys are going around telling young men, don't get in relationships, don't have families, don't get married, don't have children, and then you're wondering why men are making it to their mid-30s like this crybaby with nothing to show for it. No kids, no family, renting an apartment or owning a house with nothing in it but a dog. The dog is gonna inherit their funds when they pass. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at that predicament, but I'm laughing at the fact that, men can't even be reflective enough to be like, hey, there's something going on in the dating world right now. Right? We're all struggling, we're all not communicating. But each gender is doing their part to make dating more difficult. So let's continue. You got a few more minutes left, and I'm going to pivot to what women are saying. I think this content creator that I'm going to play next, I think she does a good job of speaking about what women are going through and what women are feeling. And I think that's the problem. Men don't want women advising each other on how to heal, after these toxic, draining situations where men want to control and monitor you the whole time, right? That's what this bandit is talking about. She shouldn't be on her phone liking men's pictures on Instagram and having her own personality and likes and dislikes and hobbies and stuff. Joshua said, I think some self-reflection is needed on this one. Yeah, he definitely does. He needs to spend some time with himself. But, I'm done listening to him. Let's hear from another content creator. Like I said, I think she does a good job talking about how women feel right now and what they need to do. And this is the stuff that men really don't want to hear women saying to each other.
I'm going to tell you some of the signs of anxious attachment, of codependency, of what it can do in a relationship. And if you've seen my videos and the millions of views that they've gotten, 1 million views or whatever they've gotten, I will tell you that there is a pain point going on here. I will tell you that there's a pain point going on here to the point where people in the comments are resonating and saying, how come I didn't know this? I didn't know people feel like this. This is a symptom of the modern world. And it comes from wanting to be the best version of yourself for somebody, because somewhere along the lines, you didn't get the love you needed. You didn't get the love you needed, and it might have not been in a big way. Maybe nobody abandoned you. Maybe nobody did anything to you. It's something that is so poignant that if you learn how to master your anxious attachment, understand what it is, understand what your codependency is, and become secure it will change your life. All these things that you want to know about how to get the guy, how to make him obsessed with you, how to be the dream girl, how to have this energy, that energy, not be a placeholder. Well, it's all encapsulated in this. And the reason these videos have so many views relatively is because it's a pain point for us, especially for women, because we've been taught to be a good girl in terms of the fact that someone somewhere in our lives didn't care about us enough. Maybe, and it doesn't have to be epic, it doesn't have to be dramatic, it doesn't have to be like huge big T trauma. It's maybe a parent who was too busy, people who didn't have time for you, mum who works all the time. I'm a mum who works, so I'm not blaming you, it just happens, right? It could be any of those things, but it results in us believing that the only way we are lovable and the only way we can be seen is by people who we service, who we go out of our way to perform for. And we meticulously watch them and meticulously learn if we do anything wrong, right? We will not be lovable anymore. We are only lovable as a product of getting people to where they want to be. People are hungry, so we cook for them. People are uncomfortable, so we listen to them.
And this is generally what I listen to. I don't listen to what some men might be describing of like, oh, this is like the toxic stuff that women are talking about nowadays. I think for the most part, men have a problem with women telling other women that they should focus and worry on themselves. Right? It is a brainwashing. It is a way that we were raised as women, right? She mentions it subtly. Someone's hungry, we cook for them, right? In other ways, it's if the house is dirty, we clean. If something needs to be made, fixed, they fix it. Something needs to be paid for, they pay for it, right? These roles, these things are kind of been assigned to us. I think the fact that she does talk about women not viewing the world in this way where they're of service to people and censoring themselves, men hate that. Men hate that. Why the hell are you telling women to take care of themselves and be happy and choose their happiness? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? No, women, if you want a husband, you need to do this. If you want to be chosen, you need to do this. This is what women hear all the time. So yes, men don't like women being told to make choices. That's not something they've had historically. Right? It's a very new concept. Let's keep listening though.
We have lost complete touch from ourselves. A lot of us service so much in order to get love, but there's an insidious side to it, okay? In anxious attachment and codependency, there's a big insidious side, because as much as you are lovely, and I was lovely when I was anxiously attached and codependent, there is a manipulative dark side to the fact that you will go to any lengths in order to get what you want. I looked at these videos. I looked at who I was, and I'll tell you some stories today. And I thought, no, we can't be doing this. And I need to make something that is going to be a place where I can send you in order to help you. Because when I get the DMs, it doesn't suffice for me to listen to you in those DMs and then send you on your merry way. So I'm going to put a link in the description box, okay? This is serious. For a 3-day detachment intensive. It's going to be called Unbothered. I've recorded it, and I believe it's the best thing I've ever done, because it's going to be pivotal for you to change. It's going to regulate your nervous system. It's going to make you the person that you were born to be on this earth. And it's everything I know. It's got worksheets. It's also got a community component if you want to be there. I'm going to put the wait list, because the doors aren't open yet. I'm only opening them for those 3 days, then I'm going to close it because I'm at capacity with my children and my life. So I want to do this one time, and I want to see how it resonates and how it works, because it's going to be live. There's going to be live video with me too, and Q&As. And I want to see how it works. Anyway, I want you to decide if it's for you, and I am going to tell you the 10 signs of anxious attachment, and I'll tell it through stories. I'm looking over here because I've got them noted down. Number 1, you constantly worry that they're going to leave you. When you are anxiously attached, when I was anxiously attached, I was constantly worried that anything that I might do, saying no, having a boundary, in this masterclass we go through boundaries and all these things and what they actually mean, so I won't go into it here.
And anxious attachment is real, right? She definitely labels it that way, and that might not be everyone's story, right? You might not all be anxious attached, but you might see in relationships where you might hold back on sharing your opinion or a boundary, like she mentioned, right? Because of how you've been sort of conditioned to believe the response would be in the relationship, right? I think a lot of what women are supposed to do, which imagine how absurd to tell somebody, another adult, that they can't look at a celebrity male's pictures because it's micro cheating. Right? I definitely get it in terms of like just a bunch of males from your town, right? Why do you need to follow all of them on IG? No, you don't, right? That's not that big of a deal. But like even just any male online is micro cheating. Why would we now break down our internet service, right? What we're doing on social media for a relationship? Why do women have to dissect themselves that way, right? To be desirable. But just keep in mind that's she's assigning it anxious attachment, but it might resonate with people who aren't anxiously attached.
But you're constantly worried that if you show any signs of autonomy or being who you are as opposed to being who they want you to be, you are disposable. People can leave you. You are disposable. You are not needed or wanted. You are just a vessel for people to get to where they want to go. Happiness, joy, whatever, intimacy, and you are that vessel, okay? I used to go out of my way in order to make people happy, despite what I needed, despite tiredness, despite anything, in order to make them happy. Number two, you feel anxious when they don't reply right away. This used to be such a big thing for me, and the danger about anxious attachment is a dysregulated nervous system that you don't know how to regulate. And the only way you've learned to regulate it is by, when people have OCD and they press the light 3 times in order to regulate the nervous system. With anxious attachment, you've linked that same attachment to a person's reaction to you. So what you're looking for is just for David to reply. You want nothing else. You're almost like a rat that keeps pressing the lever and wanting David to reply, and unless he does, you are spiraling. You have lost control. You've got no other anchors and no other ways to regulate your nervous system except for getting that reply from David. And when you want that surge of dopamine, you text David knowing that he's at work, knowing that he won't reply, and then you're there like shaking by your phone like a crackhead, waiting for David to reply. And you know what's funny, because I always address Jessica by her name, and I don't know who she is. She's just like an archetype of people who are watching this. And someone wrote to me all these different names. So we're going to go with Nadine today. Nadine, okay? Number 3, you overthink your text tone and even emojis. And I see this so much in women, and it is exhausting. The fact that you need to understand that what makes a woman irresistible, magnetic, and amazing is that she is not overly composed. She's not overly connected to these things. You think that I'm going to tell you what to text and how to text and overthink it and overanalyze it with you and put in the right emojis, and then he's going to be like, yes, this is the woman for me. That's not how it works. People feel you on an energetic level. People are put off by people who are preoccupied with other people, because then it looks like an empty vessel, and it almost exemplifies vampiric energy. The fact that you want to vampirize some kind of feeling out of somebody.
Yep. Definitely, right? I definitely believe that. I believe that when you're hyper focused on a relationship, that you're focused on another person, that means you have nothing within you, right? You're just hooking on to another person as a way of getting some type of energy. I think that was a great analogy there, and I think it's how we're taught that we're supposed to behave in relationships, right? That relationship becomes you. Men want to go back to a time where a woman, she became Mr. Todd Davis, right? She's irrelevant now. Her whole identity is her marriage, who she's with, the children they have, the life they build. She has nothing else outside of that, right? That's not a time that we live in anymore. We live in a time where women have autonomy. They have their own independence, their own lives, their own money, their own careers. I think it's just archaic of men to want to control what women even consume. That's like, hey, don't turn on the TV and watch George Clooney because he's handsome, right? Or Tom Cruise was handsome about 30 years ago, right? It's archaic, but it's how we've conditioned ourselves to think that loyal women behave in relationships. Right? And we've moved totally past that. I think men don't realize we've moved totally past that mindset. Let's keep thinking.
People feel that, and we think that we're being lovely because we just want their energy. But what do you want their energy for? What do you want constant approval from them for? The thing that men want most is the ability to be themselves. And if you're always overthinking text, tone, and emojis, you're manipulating them into being with a version of you that's not you. And they sense that. And they don't want to be with a combobulated version that's not you. Okay, number 4, you need constant reassurance that people care. This is exhausting. If you've never been on the other side of an anxiously attached relationship, the constant reassurance, I know you might have had a friend like this. Oh, why didn't you reply to me? Oh, I'm sorry, I was just waiting. Oh, I'm sorry, I just didn't know. It makes you want to smack that person because you're like, why are you all in my George Foreman, Nadine? Why are you always here wanting reassurance? It's like, why have you got dibs on my energy? Why have you always got access to my energy? Why can you not wipe your own ass, essentially speaking, emotionally speaking? Why can you not look after your emotions? Why is it always someone else's problem? And people sugarcoat it with, oh, but we should be connected and conversating in relationships. But is there a time when you're not connected and you have to look after your own self? Hi, sorry to interrupt the podcast, but you know how we're always talking about embodying the best version of you, being intentional, moving with purpose, and not settling for less? Well,
Hold on, I'm gonna pivot really quick, guys, to another video. Right? She talks about where women get her concept of love. Now, I like what let me see what her name is again. Margarita Narazarenko. I like what she talks about because she literally talks about the issues in ourselves, which could be leading us to bad relationships or to making mistakes in the good relationships that we've had. So I like her concept. We're gonna move on to where women get their conception of love messed up. All right.
This video is sponsored by Ren. Is love an art? Then it requires knowledge and effort. Or is love a pleasant sensation, which to experience is a matter of chance, something one falls into if one is lucky? This little book is based on the former premise, while undoubtedly the majority of people today believe in the latter. Not that people think that love is not important, they are starved for it. They watch endless numbers of films and happy and unhappy love stories. They listen to hundreds of trashy songs about love, yet hardly anyone.
Hundreds of trashy songs about love. I think that's so true, right? I think the media and the world feeds us ideas about it, right? They tell us what love is. Oh, all these shows about love, rom-coms. Following the logic says, do women have love? What kind of question is that? Right? What kind of question is it? Do you not even recognize love anymore? Following the logic? It's just so weird, you know? This is not a gender banging stream. That's why I wanted to go into where we are even getting our ideas of it, right? And I don't think the media is a good place for us to get our ideas of love, right? I think that should be very personal. I think it's something that should be taught and passed down, but that's obviously not happening.
Thinks that there's anything that needs to be learned about love. Scrolling through posts about romantic relationships nowadays, I kind of hate it. Not because I'm a cynic or I find PDA to be cringy. In fact, I love love. I think it should be central to the way we live our lives. But there are several beliefs about romantic relationships that I see commonly floating around on the internet that bug me. There's the if he wanted to, he would group, the never settle advocates, the constant talk about red flags and standards, and letting random strangers on TikTok make you question your healthy relationship.
I love how smooth she said that, right? She said there definitely is toxic environments, right? There's those places that are overly critical of perfectly healthy relationships that make you question a perfectly stable relationship that you might have, right? That's true. That's why I said the red pill in a lot of online spaces are definitely affecting relationships, because people who probably would have no issues in the dating world are now consuming messages from outliers or people who've had bad experiences. Right? They're not seeing the whole picture for what it is. Let's keep listening.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
As a preface, I'll probably talk more so about things I see and hear from straight women, since that's what I identify as. But the fundamental concepts that I talk about for love do apply to all romantic relationships, regardless of gender or sexuality. Before I get to specific content I see online, let's talk about two broader questions. Is love passive or active? In other words, is love a state that exists independently and is waiting for us to fall into? Or does it require our participation and effort to bring about? 2. Is our conception of love grounded in anything real? Or are we comparing our relationships to hyper-real love? Now, we can't love if we're all dead from climate change.
Those are good questions, right? Is it passive or active? Again, from what I've heard or and what makes the most sense to me, it's active. Right? When you love someone, you show them by actions, by the way you treat them, by how you value them in your life, things like that, right? I believe it can't be passive. Someone can't just say, I love you, and you believe them, right? Because that means anybody can be in a state of loving you. But I think if they're actively showing you that they love you through actions and behaviors, that's one thing. So I definitely believe it's active, right? But again, it's subjective. Some people believe, well, I can love anybody. I love her. I love him. I love them. But again, if you're not actively doing anything for me, I believe that's not really love. But it's up to each person's interpretation of love. And then there was a second question. I definitely forgot. Hold on. Oh, is our conception of love grounded in anything real? Again, that's going to be everybody's different answer. Some people might have learned love through movies. Some people might have learned love through experiences, maybe from what they've seen in their own household, right? So it's kind of a broad question.
Of love grounded in anything real? Or are we comparing our relationships to hyper-real love? Now, we can't love if we're all dead from climate change, right? Smooth segue into a sponsorship, I know. Well, I'm here to briefly talk about Ren. Ren is a website where you can take a short quiz to calculate projects that you can. Monthly updates about the projects you support. You get to see what your is not a red flag. That's just called not your preference. Don't let
Damn, I put jump ahead and it like jumped through the whole video. What the heck? Sorry guys, sheesh. I literally put, okay.
There, waiting for us to stumble upon. You hear phrases such as, true love comes to those who wait. Do not chase love, it will just find you when the time is right. And so people focus on making themselves as lovable as possible rather than loving. Fromm likens dating to modern capitalism. Modern capitalism works on the premise of mutually beneficial exchange. I buy your product and you get my money. To participate in the dating world is to place yourself in what Fromm calls the personality market. You try to make yourself as lovable as possible, which is really dependent on the time period and culture. For a long time, the dream man was ambitious, physically strong, a protector. But now there's a lot more demand for men who crochet and will cry into our shoulders. A lot of people...
Wait, no, Baba. Who said that? Who said there's demand for men who crochet? Now she's just talking. Now she's just talking, okay? And I get it. She's, trying to be flippant, but no. Need someone like LV said, need someone like her. Hey, go for it. Go for it. Okay? Get it. Let's put it back.
Will also try to make themselves lovable for certain types of people. For example, if person 1 wants a goth titty GM, person 2 wants a computer science boy, they're probably going to dress differently and get well versed in different talking points. But by then, they've already become selective about which market they're putting themselves out onto. They are already deciding what kind of love should come their way. And so really, love becomes what will satisfy your desire to not be lonely. Fromm compares this self-interested search for a partner to a bargain, because you can almost think of it like a graph. You have fallen in love when you find the optimal sweet spot between social value and desire for you. This strategical exchange doesn't really treat people as people. Instead, we become commodities on this personality market, and we're all trying to increase our market value by...
Yeah, and I definitely think some women have consumed way too much red pill content, because let me tell you something, I don't believe none of these bandits. I don't care if today these men are more timid. Once these men get a little dose of the women that they want, they are not online with these men talking about, crying about women. I think that the men who've never gotten what they wanted, who've never experienced or were able to get the women that they were interested in, those are the ones who specifically build those talking points about market value. Like we said, I'm just kidding, there's someone for everyone. Yeah, there is someone for everyone. You know, the market is large. Women can go out there and shoot their shot and leave with a winner. It doesn't have to be perfect, but they can leave with a winner. So I think this whole idea of a market and selling yourself, hey, if you've bought into that, maybe that's the problem. I think a lot of women have bought into these stupid concepts. And that's why they're struggling in the dating market. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't buy into it. I don't shape myself based off of anything that men my age say about women. Hell no. Kiss my black rear.
adhering to what others want. I know a lot of straight women are happy and think it's quite progressive that more straight men are moving from a alpha gym bro lifestyle to adopting more nerdy, soft, or feminine traits. I see so many comments being like, oh, men are finally listening to what women want. And don't get me wrong, I definitely prefer the latter type of men as well. But should we really be happy about this? Like, the men are just adhering to changing social values to be more desirable on this personality market. But is a man who is traditionally masculine necessarily a worse lover than a man ridden by a woman? Instead of congratulating people for becoming a better commodity to soothe our awareness of our existential loneliness, why do we not focus on loving itself? This is what I mean by passive versus active conceptions of love. Someone who thinks of love passively asks, how do I become loved? Someone who thinks of love actively asks, how do I love? When relationships end, people tend to focus on how to improve their lovability by working out, getting their hair done, buying new clothes, advancing their career, as exemplified by post-breakup glow-up videos on YouTube.
I'm gonna have a post-breakup glow-up, basically just doing my hair and makeup.
So we're gonna get my hair dyed, we're gonna self-tan, we're gonna whiten my teeth, we're gonna do a face mask, exfoliate, wax my eyebrows, wax my upper lip, shave, do a full face of makeup, hopefully put extensions in, get my nails done, get my toes done. We're gonna do the most.
And yes, I know people often claim that these transformations are for self-love and not others, but I'm highly suspicious of how changing so much of your physical appearance is self-love. Sure, you will feel more confident, but it's because you now feel more desirable to others. We're always so concerned with being.
And that's so true. That's so true. I'm not even gonna lie. She ate with that one. She ate with that one, because I do think that women do focus on doing things like this after a breakup as a way to like feel better about themselves. And I think going within yourself, okay, maybe you exercise so you can feel better, but to look better, no. I'm working out, I'm going, hiking, doing more so I can feel better. But I do think sometimes it is more for external approval, especially those beauty makeovers and doing all that extra like hair coloring and stuff, right? Sometimes that is about having more outward attention and approval. So she's not wrong. She did eat a little bit with that one. But yeah, she's speaking to specific women with some of these points here. Black Beauty, you have to understand she's also probably a Gen Z. She looks under 25. So I'm going to assume she's a Gen Z. Um, we're almost, even the alphas are already born, but they're not even teenagers yet. So definitely a Gen Z. But let's keep listening.
I know it's a popular joke for people to comment things like throwing myself off of the Empire State Building or eating glass for breakfast under happy couple posts. And it's funny, okay, don't get me wrong. But it's funny because we feel that there is a level of truth to it. Seeing other people in happy relationships prompts us to feel sad or slightly jealous that we are not being loved enough. Rarely do they ever make us think about how we can improve as a lover and maybe help bring that kind of love into our lives. We seem to take our concept of love itself for granted. Most people assume that love is just intuitively known and it does not need to be learned. Everyone will just naturally know what it is. But this stems from the problem of treating love as an object, a noun, a feeling, something that just happens to us. Fromm and also bell hooks, rest in peace queen, say we need to shift our perspective and understand love as an activity. Fromm actually calls love an art. And just like being good at any art.
Yep, an activity, an art. That definitely lines up with like my older understanding of love, romance, and things like that. Especially, when I first started dating. It was more of like, a man wants to charm you, sweep you off your feet. And where did that go? Somebody turned that into a negative thing. And here we are today. Somebody turned it into a negative. And I don't know why. The idea of romance and taking somebody serious and offering them an experience when they get to know you. What's wrong with that? People now just want to be so nonchalant about their attraction and their desire to be with people. Why? Make it fun. What's wrong with trying to impress somebody you like? There's nothing wrong with that at all. But now people want to impress strangers, people on the internet, their friends. Let's continue.
Such as playing an instrument, dancing, painting. It requires constant practice, dedication, and faith. Just as how you can't be a good piano player by only playing when you feel like it. You can't be good at love if you only choose to love when it is convenient and enjoyable for you. Fromm also says that an art requires faith. When you practice an art and you run into a difficult skill, rather than give up because it's hard, you have to have faith in eventually succeeding and dedicate effort to that art until you succeed. The same is with love. I'll get more into this later on with the overuse of the term red flags, but I feel like people start to doubt their whole relationship just because they saw one random person on TikTok say something. Of course, if there's constant cheating, lying, abuse, etc., these are clear signs to leave. Wiring our brains to think about love as something active rather than passive is actually really helpful in separating love from abuse and dishonesty. I want to read a passage from Bell Hooks All About Love that I really like. To begin by always thinking of love as an action rather than a feeling is one way in which anyone using the word in this manner automatically assumes accountability and responsibility. We are often taught we have no control over our feelings. Yet most of us accept that we choose our actions, that intention and will inform what we do. We also accept that our actions have consequences. To think of actions actions shaping feelings is one way we rid ourselves of conventionally accepted assumptions, such as that one simply falls in love, without exercising will or choice, that there are such things as crimes of passion, i.e. he killed her because he loved her so much. If we were constantly remembering that love is as love does, we would not use the word in a manner that devalues and degrades its meaning. I think that most importantly, when you work on an art, creating a wonderful result is what leaves you with fulfillment, right? For instance, by finishing a beautiful painting, an artist bestows meaning upon their life because the painting, as a product of the artist's efforts, reflects their incredible abilities back onto themselves. The artist realizes that they are the reason why this canvas is so beautiful. Thus, love is to nurture the flourishing of someone else, and you recognize your own worth through their flourishing. If we treat love as an active art rather than a thing, love is about giving rather than receiving. A lot of people think that giving equals sacrifice, and that's why it's so honorable to do it. But Fromm says that giving does not have to require us sacrificing anything. When done for the sake of giving and not some other goal, giving is actually the best way to combat our existential loneliness. When you give, you experience your own strength, energy, and aliveness. This is true when you give anything, such as giving money or giving food to your children. But this is especially true in giving love. Because when you give love, you give all the things that make up you. Your interests, your emotions, your passions, your knowledge. Quote, he enhances the other sense of aliveness by enhancing his own sense of aliveness. Sadly, in heterosexual relationships, I still think this idea of the man being the giver and the woman being the receiver is present. And a lot of women happily endorse this idea because it's nice and easy to be the receiver. My man should ask me to be his Valentine. He should be giving me flowers. My man should be doing this and that for me. I see this sentiment get worse because...
Okay, chickadee. Okay, I hear you. Okay.
Of social media portraying perfect images of people's boyfriends. You know, the ones where a girl shows off all the sweet things her boyfriend does for her. And the comments are filled with stuff like, my standards just got higher. Why doesn't my boyfriend do this for me? If he wanted to, he would. Again, the dominant narrative here is that love equals being loved, which equals getting stuff. Of course, it feels nice to receive things, and it's important to have a lover that gives things as symbols of love. But ladies, basing love on what you receive makes love a passive commodity. You gotta focus on love as an action and give back. And giving love is not about giving material objects. It's about giving you as a person, sharing your thoughts, your humor, your joy, and your sadness. That's what giving love is. One of the most loving couples I've come across are Hannah and Shane. They talk about how so many people pity Hannah as some poor sacrificial giver because they think she just gives without receiving things we typically associate with love back, such as traditional forms of pleasure.
One time, a woman who asked if I was Shane's cousin. Yeah. And he said, no, this is my girlfriend. And she came up to me and took my hand.
Now, don't gaslight us, ma'am. We're not thinking that she's not getting nothing. We believe that she's getting money. An inheritance of sorts for being... Okay, I'm going to stop. Let's continue.
And began to cry and was like, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. Like, you're an angel, which was super uncomfortable because that insinuates that I'm an angel because Shane is a terrible choice.
People wonder why Hannah, who has high social value as a pretty woman, would partake in this unfair exchange. It goes back to this dominant idea of love being finding the best bargain on the market. But Shane and Hannah don't care about this dominant conception of love. They love each other because they give their personhood to each other, and they love the person they each are, without primarily focused on what's in it for them. At this point, maybe you're you're like, okay, Olivia, good job on becoming the most idealistic lover girl with zero connection to reality. As romantic as giving for the sake of giving sounds, without care about receiving material gifts, we all want to feel loved. Doing the loving is so much effort, and I'm too insecure to not crave being loved. Plus, you can't just erase the value that material gifts have in our capitalist culture. And to all that, I say, you are right. You are 100% right. You got me. Which is why proper loving is counterculture. It's near impossible because it's so opposed to how current culture is. How can I focus on giving when I'm surrounded by people on social media showing off what they receive? When our culture is so based on consumerism, on who has what. And
Yep. Very, very true. Very, very true. And she's spitting some wise knowledge. You know, we do live in a consumerism world where it's all about showing off, flexing, being the next best, all of that, for sure. You know, I think our concepts and our ideas of love is too driven by the media and not by experiential, not by seeing it in our homes. We're just looking at online and getting our ideas of love from there, and that's the main issue that we're having as people in society in general. You know, it's something that needs to be addressed within our communities, within our families. So, all right, guys, I am exhausted. I'm going to kick the bucket out of here and go to sleep. Hopefully, you guys have a good night. Hopefully, you enjoyed this show. I will send you off with a song. All right, thanks for joining the show tonight. Bye bye.
Florabella on my screen. Her smile, it shines so bright. She's a queen with every scene. In the morning or the night, recipes and good vibes flow. Every video a gem. Her confidence, it grows and grows. We're inspired like her friends. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power. Spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Through the highs and all the lows, she remains so strong. Her spirit always glows. She's where we all belong. With every like and every share, we feel her energy. No storm too strong, she can't bear. She's setting us all free. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power. Spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Recipes and good vibes flow. Every video a gem. Her confidence, it grows and grows. We're inspired like her friends. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power. Spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Through the highs and all the lows, she remains so strong. Her spirit always glows. She's where we all belong. With every like and every share, we feel her energy. No storm too strong, she can't bear. She's setting us all free. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power. Spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Through the